Good afternoon, and welcome to this week's Small Business Town Hall. Today's conversation will include some updates from partners from the SBA. As always, we always have Director Mark Hayward with us, who give us some important information about what's happening from the federal government and the Small Business Administration. We're also going to have the Director of Labor and Training, Matt Welda, and we're also going to have the Secretary of Commerce, Stefan Pryor, with us. And we also have Chris Parisi that always join us. So I'm looking forward to this conversation today and to hear the updates that they have with us. But we're also going to have three additional guests today. We're going to hear from some of the industries that have been hit really hard during this time, the pandemic and everything that we're going through. And we're going to have three guests. One is going to be Hugo Adames from the Talent Factory on North Kingston, Diane McGee's from the Global Excellent Travel in Warwick, and Lynn Hall from Boulder Dash. And they're going to give us an update about the things that they have been facing and what's going on with the industry. Each of these industry, theater, travel, groups, fitness, they have faced significant challenges during this time in coming out of the pandemic. And it's important for us to hear directly from them to see how we can improve the condition, the business conditions for them. So I'm looking forward to hearing from them. But first, I want to remind everyone that we still have funding available at the Rent Relief RI. And Rent Relief RI is not just for the renters that can apply. If you are a landlord, you can apply also for the Rent Relief RI if you're having challenges with your tenants paying for the rent. So make sure you check the website, Rent Relief RI. And also you can go through that if you visit the Rhode Island Housing website, can take you there also. We have still over $150 million available, and they can help you to pay for rents and also for utilities. So make sure you apply, okay? Then the next thing that I wanted to remind everyone, if you have any question about any of the things that we're talking about today, or you want more information about the Rent Relief RI, make sure to email us at my office. Billy Kepsner information is being posted as I'm speaking right now. Make sure that you can reach out to him with any question. We're going to be more than glad to assist you and help you. And secondly, I want to remind everyone, if you're not vaccinated yet, it's time to get vaccinated. Rhode Island is doing really well right now. We have over 90% of adults have gotten at least one vaccine. It was said that it couldn't happen when Governor McKee was saying that he wanted to see a 90%. He will tell 90% is impossible. We're not going to get there. We're already over 90%. We still have more people that need to get vaccinated. So if you have not gotten your vaccine, make sure that you do that. I got my flu vaccine a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to be getting my booster for the COVID soon. So stay tuned for that. You see, I'm going to show you that there's nothing to be afraid of. I'll be taking my booster shot also. So with that, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. And now I want to make sure that we hear information, important information from Mark Hayward, who's the Director of the Small Business Administration here in Rhode Island. Director, what can you tell us today?
There I am. Hello, Governor. It's good to see you. First of all, I got my flu vaccine last week. And secondly, I'm getting my booster this afternoon. So there you go.
Good.
I don't know if that's good or bad, because that puts us in a category of a certain, never mind.
I'm not going to go there, Director.
So anyway, I've got a number of things that I do want to talk about, Governor, today. One is we're coming into November, and in November we celebrate National Veterans Small Business Week. So I want everybody to be cognizant of the fact that we have a lot of veteran-owned and operated businesses here in the state of Rhode Island. We will be celebrating them. There's one that, there's a lot of little businesses, but if you've ever been to Smoke and Squeal, which is over in Pawtucket, it is a great veteran-owned business. He was our Veteran Small Business Person of the Year last year. If you like good barbecue and you like good cornbread, I will tell you, it's the best. It's the best place to go. But it just shows you the commitment of our veterans. Here's an individual who started with a food truck, who expanded not only from a food truck, who also got a trailer where he does special events, and now he has a small place in Pawtucket. And now I'm going to date myself, over near the old New York lace mills. It's like
that's how we do it in Rhode Island. That's how we give direction.
I know it's back where something used to be 30 years ago. But anyway, Veteran Small Business Week is really important. We're going to have Kasim Yarn on Mondays with Mark. So Kasim can talk about the things that he's doing to help veteran small businesses. We're really blessed to have somebody like Kasim, because he's a true partner, Governor, and we work on a lot of different issues, and I just wanted to put that out there. Having said that, we're also preparing for National Small Business Week, which next year will be held in May. National Small Business Week, we're going to be coming out in the next week or so with requests for nominations, and we want people to stop putting their thinking caps on of what individuals, minority small business, women-owned small business, veteran-owned small business. We do categories such as those individuals who have helped small business, like CPAs or bankers. Tell us who is the best of the best. Allow us to have the names and the nominations. And then we do a judging panel where everybody is equal. It's actually a blind judging where everybody's scored. And then we come out with our Small Business Person of the Year, our Minority Small Business Person of the Year, our Exporter of the Year. So I'm just asking, because there's a lot of things that need to be talked about as we go forward, Governor. I just want to get that on the radar. Having said that, the other thing is, I know it's not Christmas yet. We haven't got the Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of people are concerned about what's happening in the supply chain, as we are as well. But listen, go online. Look for a small business online. Look for your gifts. If you can't find them in a small store, there's a lot of small retailers, Governor, that have online shopping, and where they will ship to you. I can't emphasize enough. If you've never had the opportunity to buy small and buy local, now is the time. Small businesses are depending upon fellow Rhode Islanders in order for their survival. We want to make sure that small businesses, small retailers, and local restaurants have the support that they need in order to get through the next year. How is that going to happen? We're going to shop small, and we're going to shop in local. In fact, Governor, we're beginning our planning for Small Business Saturday. We have a couple of events. I'll be talking to you about it at some point in time. We've started our planning process with the office. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're going to dine small first, and then we're going to shop small. Right now, the target seems to be East Greenwich. We've done Pawtucket, we've done Westerly, we've done Wickford, we've done Bristol, we've done Newport, we've done East Providence. So right now we're back into East Greenwich. It looks like that may be very safe, and people are happy about that. So when we get to that,
I want to be there. I love the Small Business Saturday. I always had an event locally in my neighborhood to make sure to create awareness. So, I'll be there with you.
Great. And we've been on the South Side. We've been up on Hope Street. We've been downtown. So we've been all over the place. But we've had a couple of, we're working with the Rhode Island Hospitality Association, Governor, because I want to emphasize, and you and I have had this discussion, the fact that I am very concerned about hospitality.
Yes.
I am very concerned about small retailers. And if there was ever a time where we needed to support them, now is the time. On EIDL, we continue to get a lot of requests on EIDL. The EIDL portal is still open. If you have an issue, Ben has put up the email address. Email us, because we're more than happy to help. We've actually had some success in moving some of these along. We know that there are a lot of people who are seeking to increase up to $2 million. we've had a couple of successes there. And, just make sure that you're looking at whether or not you can afford a $2 million loan to be repaid. It's a loan. It's not a grant, a loan to be repaid over that period of time. We're also having a lot of success on the EIDL advance grants. I just helped a small business here in Rhode Island. I had to go to Washington to try to get it fixed, and we did get it fixed, and that was really important. And we don't normally do that, but this was a very special case. So if you have issues, raise them to us, and we're more than happy to go above and beyond and to do what we have to do to get them settled. On the PPP,
thank you, Director, for doing that.
Yeah, this was an individual who actually was in one of our emerging leader classes and had a lot of contact with the Center for Women in Enterprise, and she's got a very unique niche business, and if we didn't get that resolved, she would have gone belly up, and I didn't want to see that happen. So we were successful in getting it approved.
Good.
We need to on the Paycheck Protection Program forgiveness. Yeah. If you haven't filed for forgiveness or haven't talked to your lender, you need to do so. That's really important because these are being pushed through as quickly as possible. About 92% have been forgiven so far on PPP1. On PPP2, just looking at the numbers here, Governor, we're probably about 60, it looks like 62, 63%. So, but it is progressing. And the most important for a small business, you don't want to have that hanging out there as a potential loan down the road. You want to get forgiveness and just push it off and just, do what you have to do. On local navigators, Governor, we do know that announcement, the administrator will be announcing on Thursday. We are got our fingers crossed for a local navigator here in Rhode Island. That will bring substantial amount of money, and it will bring additional technical assistance. And again, I say, Governor, all the time, businesses don't plan to fail; they fail to plan. You need talk to the SBDC. We got Diane Fanaris over there, great person. Manuel Batal, who does all of the Spanish learning. We have he
has the Primer Pasos, which is a great program.
Primer Paso, yeah. I actually go there, but I normally speak Portuguese, so hopefully people can understand what I'm saying.
We can get some words here and there.
And then we have the SCORE, which is they have 65 volunteers, and most of these people are still in business, but they're mentors to people. Don't pass up the opportunity to get a mentor. And of course, the Center for Women in Enterprise, they do a terrific job. Governor, you're well aware of what they do over there. So again, there is technical assistance there to help people. All you have to do is ask.
Yes. So, and that reminds me, Director, something that we're going to be doing moving forward is we're going to invite one of those resources at every time we get together for this Facebook conversation. We're going to be bringing, I had a conversations already with Carmen Diaz-Jusino, going to bring information. We're going to bring Manuel. We're going to bring Doris de los Santos. We're going to bring Melba. So we're going to invite all of those individuals that provide resources to a small business to come and talk about the program. So
that's absolutely great. In fact, we're doing a session on Friday with CWE and with Manuel Batal on cybersecurity, which is very important to small businesses to protect themselves. So, and it's Espanol, so it's going to be in Spanish.
Yeah. Great. Wow. Thank you, Director. You had a lot of good information as always. Always a pleasure seeing you.
We still have to have that conversation if you don't forget.
Oh, yeah. We will. Before you go, let me just check with Ben. Ben, is there any questions for the Director before he leaves us?
Hello, Director. Sorry, 1 second. I'm blocking your face.
That's fine.
There we go.
Wouldn't be the first time, Ben.
I don't want to block your face. So we have a question from Tina that says disability small business with a question mark, but I'm not sure what she's referencing. She does say that I would love to be a part of this as well and help promote it for all. I don't know what that specific question is.
Governor, I would ask Tina to put it into our, if you can put our email address up there one more time. If she can send that to us, we're more than happy to respond to whatever request she has.
Oh, she's talking about the awards for that you mentioned earlier. If there's one for disability, And she's also talking about the Small Business Saturday, if they can be part of, her organization can be part also, to make sure that the businesses are accessible. We can highlight the importance of being ADA compliant.
So on the disabilities, I don't believe that we have a special category for disabilities. We have a lot of different categories. I think we have 10. We have the Jeffrey Butlin family-owned business that had to be passed from generation to generation. And we'll come out, Governor, we'll make sure that everybody has a copy of what those 10 awards are. And more importantly is because we work really close with Congressman Langevin, who is, as you well know, has been in a wheelchair for a very long time. And accessibility to businesses is always critical. And we make sure that, we convey that message to be ADA compliant and to make sure that you are accessible to all people of all abilities and disabilities.
Yeah. One of the things that I would like to bring once we're doing the visit on the Small Business Saturdays is that all the resources available for small businesses that would like to be in compliance with ADA and the grants funding that are available. So we can provide that information also. Okay.
And remember, we do a promotion of Small Business Saturday before Thanksgiving, so that when people get to, I know everybody knows about, Black Friday and getting all those real specials, but if you're going to do that, shop at a small business. And just so that people understand that as we lead into Thanksgiving, we know that there's going to be a lot of ads out there, and that's why I said, Governor, we help people get online, and we've helped a lot of small businesses get online. You can order anything online from a small business. Instead of going to the big box stores, this year I think we need to concentrate on and there's one in particular that I always go to, and that's the doggy store, which is on Main Street in East Greenwich. And then I have a couple of others around the state that we go to, but it's just, it's a pet store. They have all kinds of pet things. They have cookies, they have toys, they have everything. And they're very important that we support those kind of small businesses to keep them up and alive.
That's right. Now, thank you so much. So we're going to be together partnering for the Small Business Saturday. And thank you for this information, Director.
Thank you, Governor. It's always a pleasure.
Great. So next, we're going to bring the Commerce Secretary. Secretary Stefan Pryor is going to be joining us today to give us an update. There's a lot happening, right?
Yes, ma'am. A lot happening. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank you to Director Mark Hayward for your continuing work. Really appreciate it, and all of your partnering. Lieutenant Governor, we do have a lot happening. What I want to focus on today is the Rhode Island 2030 process as it continues with its focus on small business and focus across the entire policy range for Rhode Island. We're starting to get into some in-person sessions. So I just want to make sure that we got the word out to small business people, their advocates, and their partners, so that we can continue the dialogue around what small businesses still very much need coming out of the pandemic. And what I want to explain is, first of all, the Rhode Island 2030 process is one that you and I have really tag teamed on, and you have offered great guidance within. Under Governor McKee, we have sought to bring stakeholders together through digital community conversations. Ben, thank you for convening those for us as well. Yes. We brought stakeholders together across 13 different sessions over multiple months, topics ranging from small business to the economy as a whole, to transportation and infrastructure, to children and family services, health care and public health, and well beyond, education, workforce development, and higher education. There are 10 sections of a report that has come out of this digital community conversation process where stakeholders all over Rhode Island and the public participated in shaping these draft ideas that, if you go to ri2030.com, displayed right here on the screen, you'll see that there's a 50-page report. The cover looks like this, Rhode Island 2030. And there's a section on small business. What I'm going to get to is there's a forum tonight, and there are forums coming up across Rhode Island where you can provide more input, because we're continuing to shape this framework and this agenda. The reason why, as you know extremely well, Lieutenant Governor, is that we know we have to do more to come out of this pandemic. across multiple disciplines, multiple policy areas.
We
know
do.
there's an opportunity to invest for immediate relief, but also for long-term growth of our state into 2030 and beyond, the next decade and beyond. So we are looking at the American Rescue Plan dollars, of course, the capital budget of the state, the operating budget of the state, and non-financial moves and measures that will help to take us out of the pandemic and propel us into the next decade. The sessions, let me talk of those. There's a session this evening, very pleased about that, which is at Harry Kazarian Elementary School, which is 60 Camden Avenue, Providence. That's Kazarian Elementary at 60 Camden Ave here in Providence at 6 p.m. tonight.
Yes.
Now, you see them displayed.
This is funny, yeah. Okay. No, this just wanted to let you know that Ben got them displayed. Thank you.
Perfect. And you see there's several more coming up. Thursday the 28th, Tuesday, November 2nd, and you see them as they've been displayed. Also check out Rhode Island 2030 to get them. But in one of those public forums, if you have an interest in small business, please come and vocalize what you think the priorities ought to be, what you think the steps should be for us to be an even more healthy small business environment, especially since so many small businesses are still struggling in many fields, including hospitality, but not limited to hospitality in our state. To give you a feel for in the report, in this printed report, what it says about small business, please check it out yourselves. But there are short-term actions and long-term actions that are described. And there's an overall goal that says by the next decade, Rhode Island will have a thriving, vibrant, and diverse small business ecosystem that has emerged stronger and more resilient from the global pandemic and is a key driver of opportunity, job creation, and economic growth for Rhode Island. And then just as illustrations, Lieutenant Governor, for short-term actions, there's talk of ventilation and taking it outside, outdoor capacity increases for small businesses. We know small businesses have been calling for that in the near term. Rule and regulation changes that allow for some of the things that have happened during the pandemic to happen over the longer term. So outdoor tables for restaurants and to-go liquor, things of that nature. Yes. Even more than they're already happening. And then long-term actions, real quick illustrations. Some back office supports for small businesses, things like health insurance cooperatives that will lower costs and let small businesses get into such systems as health insurance systems. Digital moves, digital integration to create a gateway or coordinated approach to government support for small businesses, getting away from the many printed forms that you have to go from one office to the other to fill out, a single digital entryway and way to conduct business. So there's so much more in here just about small business, but there's 10 different topic areas. And what we want to do is get Rhode Islanders' input even more as to what Rhode Islanders consider to be the challenges, the issues, and what Rhode Islanders believe ought to be the recommendations and the solutions. So please check us out tonight or at a future session.
Thank you, Secretary. And it's important. We want to remind the small business community, we want to be able to help you simplify the way how you do business. What we can do at the state government to make sure that you're able to concentrate on just doing your business and not worrying about how you're going to be dealing with government. So please give us your feedback. We want to hear from you.
6 p.m. Harry Kazarian Elementary School tonight, if you're interested, and then multiple additional sessions to follow. Check out, once again, here they are on the screen. Check out ri2030.com.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Secretary. So we will see you later on today. Thank you for the information. Next, I'm going to bring over the Director of the Department of Labor and Training, Director Matt Weldon, to hear what is new. Oh, you're back in the office.
I'm here.
Welcome, directors. Can you tell us what's going on, what's new at the Department of Labor and Training?
Sure, there's some glare, so I'll take the glasses off. What's new? Nothing going on here, Governor. Just, kind of hanging around. I'm just kidding. I too got my first shot. I don't think I can get a booster shot yet, but when I can, I will. I'm excited because I have one of my 3 kids is too young for a shop, but it looks like soon he won't be. He's 10 years old, and we're excited to get that when we can.
The same way here in my house.
Yeah,
So I'm with you waiting for that day.
Getting vaccinated helps people stay connected to the economy. It keeps people in work, keeps kids in school. It's a great, we should all be telling everyone that we know that it's safe to do. It's the best medical advice we have, and that's what we should be doing. So I'm all over that. Right now, I think unemployment has slowed down. We're catching up with some of the many back office things that we had to do during the pandemic that had to take a back seat so we could deal with customer issues. We're managing the workload and really focusing a lot of our efforts on getting people back to work. And, the time is past us. It's gone by. And now we need to make sure people know that many people don't qualify for benefit programs. We need to get you connected to the economy. And there are many ways we can do that. The best way for job seekers is through the website we talked about before, which is backtoworkroi.com. Go ahead, check out that website and get connected with a virtual career coach. You can work, go attend a virtual job fair, look for jobs, do an assessment of your skills and abilities and your interests, and it will guide you towards new opportunities. Go ahead. For businesses, you can host job fairs on that platform, and you can do some other things with us. But you can also find a lot of services on our new revamped department website, which came out really nice. I before wasn't a big fan. Now I think it's beautiful. dlt.ri.gov. Easy to follow. Tabs for how we can help individuals, how we can help employers. Right under that employer tab, I think the second thing down on the menu is WorkShare. So there are ways that people can find all the information that we talk about in a very clean, easy to follow website. That's where our focus is right now, is clearing up some of the communication that we have to make sure people know we're here for them. We want to help them. Please contact us.
Right. So good to hear that. And, I'm a fan of that WorkShare program. So it's good to know that you can find it right away as soon as you get to the website. Thank you so much, Director. Job trainings. Where can individuals go that are looking for job trainings? Or
The Back to Work website has all the information about available job trainings. At any given time, there may be 5 to 10 different training programs happening. So DLT doesn't run job training. DLT funds job training, and that is through a couple of different formats. One way is through the federal government has essentially like tuition that's available for people to attend job training programs and to get credentials. And if you're approved for that, you can find information on dlt.ri.gov. But if you want to take advantage of one of the real jobs training programs or the back to work training programs that we talked about so many times, and those are industry-led, demand-driven trainings, which means if you participate, you're connected to real job opportunities at the end. It's not train them and hope they get a job. It is participate and get a job or get upskilled. Backtoworkroi.com.
Great. Thank you, Director. I see a comment from Tina that says that their website looks great and easy to navigate. So good job, Director. Ben, is there any question that I missed for the Director?
No questions, Director Weldon. Good to see you.
All right, you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great seeing you, Director. Thank you. So next, we're going to hear from Chris Parisi. Chris has been always joining us in this conversation. He's with us every week when we're having the conversation, and he brings the information that comes directly from the small business owner. So it's always good to hear from Chris. So Chris, tell us what's going on. What do you hear?
Hello, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you for having us on here. So what we're really focusing on is the governor's supplemental proposed budget. And that includes, using a portion of those $1.1 billion for small businesses, in addition to small businesses, also childcare and affordable housing, which, by the way, also impacts small businesses. So there's a great urgency for this with our small businesses. And we have 3 great examples coming on right after me, talking about the components of this program, right? Because with that down payment for small businesses, it's going to go towards financial assistance, technical assistance, public health support, and helping out those hard-hit industries. So we're going to hear some stories about how there is an urgency. I know the House Finance Committee Chair Abney, who is a great leader, a great individual. But he made a comment during the hearing that he doesn't see the urgency. And a lot of small business owners heard that and were freaking out, frankly, because there is a lot of urgency for some of our small businesses to act now and support our small businesses. And this isn't just coming from anecdotal. We even did a survey. And we asked, are you currently experiencing a negative impact due to COVID? A resounding 92% said yes, currently still experiencing a negative impact. And when we asked, do you expect or do you currently have additional expenses due to COVID? 87% said yes. And 96% said yes, they feel the General Assembly should spend a portion of that $1.1 billion to help small businesses now. So those are the facts from our members in the Rhode Island Small Business Coalition. And we're, just trying to tell our stories to communicate why there is an urgency for the General Assembly to work with the governor, work with our small business leaders, and pass that governor's supplemental budget and get support to the small businesses right away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris, for that information. I wanted to ask you if, first of all, Ben, do you have any question for Chris before we move to the next section?
Amazing challenges.
Nope.
Wouldn't you believe?
No? Okay. All right. So I have a little bit of issues while you were speaking, Chris, but I'm back. Got disconnected for a brief moment, but I'm back. So I just wanted to ask you if you can join us for the rest of the conversation. Just want to hear from Hugo, Diane, and Lynn about what is going on in their industry and their businesses, and see how we can help to address the challenges that they're facing. So
that would be great
if you're able to stay. But next, let's bring over Hugo, Diane, and Lynn. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
We want to hear from you. Want to hear how things are going, what are the challenges, how we can help. But before we start, I would like for you to take a minute to introduce yourself and your organization and tell us a little bit more about you. So let's start with Lynn. Lynn?
Hi, my name's Lynn Hall, and I own Boulder Dash Race, which is an event company in Rhode Island. We have been around since 2011. We do large-scale obstacle course events. We also do small group gatherings and team building. And we also work with nonprofits in the state to help them with their events and fundraising.
Thank you. Next, let's go to Hugo.
How you doing?
Hugo.
Hugo. Está bien así también. Hi, my name's Hugo Adames. I am from the Talent Factory. I own the Talent Factory in North Kingstown and now in Warwick. And we work with children and adults, people of all ages, and we teach acting, singing, dancing classes, and we also do events, live events. I apologize, my dogs want to get into this meeting. And we've been doing this for 18 years in Rhode Island. We're proud small business owners, and we're here to join the conversation about the struggles and the concerns we're having. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Hugo. Next, Diane.
Hi, I'm Diane Miguel from Global Excellence Travel. We're a small business that has been in Rhode Island for 28 years. We're a women-owned business. We're currently employ 10 people and hoping to keep that number.
Thank you. So the first question I have for the three of you is, coming out of the pandemic, what are the challenges and opportunities that you see in your respective industry? And again, I'm going to start with Lynn.
Yay. Okay. So some of the challenges that we're seeing in the event industry is when everything was shut down, the event industry was basically one of the first things to shut down and one of the last things to open because we're on a mass scale. We're seeing a lot of people at a time. And there was not a whole lot of direct financial or otherwise assistance We just basically had, events. And when I say we, I don't mean just Boulder Dash. Events were scheduled all spring, summer. And when you schedule an event of that size in the state of Rhode Island, you're planning this and you're making payments on these things, at least a year in advance. So all of your expenditure has already been done. And then our calendars were shut down. A lot of event managers were able to push their events into the fall of this year, which kind of caused a little bit of cannibalism. There's only so many times you can put an event on a calendar and have that day be free. So there were 3-4 events in a weekend on one day, and 3 or 4 on the other day. So there just was there was not a lot of room to push these off. And the expenses only go up because once you cancel an event, you have to reschedule that event. There are things that you've already paid for that need to be paid for again because it's a new day. So there's just been, a lot of difficulty getting back off the ground. And of course, having the public feel safe enough to go out and comfortable in large crowds. All of that certainly factors into everything. But, something to keep in mind for, the event industry is we don't just support those who are coming out and doing the events. We have people coming in from out of state. So hotels benefit, restaurants benefit in the area, gyms, local gyms, who also were super hard hit in 2020 and 2021. They use events like races and things like that to get their folks together and get them out there and keep them focused and keep them incentivized, to keep coming back. Nonprofits benefit through many events, not only through volunteerism and giving back and gaining dollars through that, but also we as event directors and creators are also working with many nonprofits, and we create events for them so that they can do fundraising. And a perfect example is we were just talking about Skills for Rhode Island's Future. Boulder Dash is working with Skills for Rhode Island Future on a fundraising event in 2022. We've already rescheduled that 3 times. So that's, and that's what keeps happening, so it's not just the event directors and the event supporters that we're looking at sort of that whole picture. And I do have to give kudos. I do know that there are some cities and towns that are working with some of the event folks and doing things like using some of those federal dollars that have come in to help with, say, offsetting police detail costs and things like that. And I think that that's a great way to help the local folks that are trying to put on these events.
Thank you. For the next, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to Ugo now with the next question. But Ugo, feel free to address the first question if there's something you wanted to add. So the next question that I have, and eventually all of us are going to be in one conversation, is as our administration just put out the supplemental budget, and Secretary Pryor was just talking about the 2030 plan. That now we're taking inputs in person, going to have different events for that. And I just want to, the supplemental budget is for $45 million down payment, what we're asking for. As the small business, what do you believe are the most critical needs that we should be addressing?
Well, there's a lot. And I think it's a great start. I don't think $45 million is enough to address all of it, but it gets us in the conversation, which I'm grateful for. Honestly, I think consumer confidence is a big topic. We're going to be bouncing back over the next few years from the effects that we felt from COVID. And I know my business, as well as other businesses, can agree that it's going to be a long road ahead of us. We're still down 50% in our enrollment at our business, and showing people that we have a safe place for their children to come back to is very important. We have to remember, a lot of businesses are working with the unvaccinated population, like children. So we're expected to continue to operate as normal with less funding, right? We don't have any funding, and we don't have the customers to support what we're trying to accomplish here. because parents are still afraid. Rightfully so. Parents are still afraid. So I think it's important for us to talk about consumer confidence. I think the governor proposed ventilation, and I think that will help consumer confidence. I think that's part of the plan. I think it's important if we can help businesses like mine, the performing arts industry, businesses that work with consumers in general, the gyms, anybody that's indoors. If we can help with ventilation, that should help us market to our consumers that we have a safe place for them to attend and support the business.
And Hugo, part of that governor's supplemental budget included public health support like ventilation. Is that something that would impact your business when it comes to consumer confidence? Is there a need for that?
Absolutely. I think anything we can do to market consumer confidence, and I think ventilation is a big one. Like I said, the unvaccinated population. Today, our children are not allowed to be vaccinated. Therefore, parents are still living in fear that their kids cannot participate in things like dance, acting, singing, chorus, any after-school activity that parents typically would love to have their kids involved in. They don't feel confident. At least 50% of them don't.
Great. Thank you, Hugo. And if I can ask the next question to Diane, another portion of the governor's supplemental budget was for hard-hit industries. And I don't know if there was a harder-hit industry than the travel and tourism industry. And as someone that has owned a travel agency for 28 years, do you feel right now that there is an urgency for financial support for your industry?
Oh, more than an urgency. Yes, we are definitely in need. I guess I need to explain a little bit about our agency. We're 80% corporate travel, which, we do a lot of meetings and incentives. And the other 20% is vacation and destination weddings, that type of travel. If you've traveled recently, you probably think all things are fine. The airports are busy, the flights are full. But the airlines are not to the pre-pandemic levels with the routing and the aircraft capacity. So there is still room, a lot of room that needs to be filled here. We've struggled through the cancellations in the months. We rebooked, just like Lynn. We have had some groups go. We've had 1,200 people travel to Universal. And unfortunately, we've also had a group of 1,000 people that was supposed to go to the Bahamas that was canceled due to COVID concerns. And another group of 250 people was supposed to go to Jamaica. That was when the Delta variant happened. With the islands in Europe at a level 4, which is a do not travel, we're talking about consumer confidence. I mean, we really need to boost that. I mean, that's not good for our industry, a level 4. People are still going, but business travel will not come back until that's dropped. A lot of corporations will not take on that responsibility, for their people. So, and understandable. I mean, it's crazy what we're living through right here. We've had some river cruises booked when the Netherlands changed their plans. And then we've had just, vacation travelers. They didn't get their test results back in time to load up onto the airline website so that they could travel. Everything out of our control, but this is all happening that people probably just don't even realize that's going on. We do utilize the workshare program. We're struggling here. It's very difficult. We have a very generous landlord, thank God. That's all I can say about him. He's wonderful. We were left out of the shuttered venue grant and the CARES Act. So we are in need of the money, the grants to be relieved from the American Rescue Plan. We are in desperate need. I don't know why they don't see the urgency. I don't get it.
So I just wanted to follow up on that. What are if you were to communicate with us and with your local legislators, what is the number one thing you believe we should be doing to help your industry? And I'm going to start with Diane, and then we can go to the rest.
I believe it's the consumer confidence as well as you go. We need to get the levels down, and being a level 4 is not helping.
Right. I agree. I'm sorry. I agree with that. Consumer confidence, definitely. A lot of, I'm no travel agent. I know in your industry, Diane, a lot of countries have things in place to boost the consumer confidence. As far as if you're a level 4, you have to be vaccinated. You have to provide a PCR test on the way in, on the way back.
Correct.
If there's a way for our legislator or our state to help market that, to help tell the consumer that there are things in place to maintain safe travel, I think it would help. Do you agree, Diane?
Some of that is in place already. Okay. And I know international travel is going to open up in November, and they are going to require everyone to be vaccinated and prove a negative test. So that's great. I mean, people really should feel very comfortable traveling with that. I mean, everyone's going to be required to wear the mask on the plane and in the airports, and that's all fine. I don't think people are having a hard time with that. It's the confidence that for do not travel is not good. I mean, they need to lower those.
Right.
Understood. So, Lynn, I just want to bring you in the conversation. Also, do you have any feedback about what is the one thing you want us to, or do you want to emphasize for us at the state level government?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the consumer confidence. It's definitely a big part of things. I think that also having state and local government really working with the event industry and trying to assist them in getting these events back up and off the ground is a big thing as well. I know that there have been a few venues that may or may not be 100% COVID related that have stopped doing events or really sort of buckled in on where they're going to allow or when they're going to allow. So I would say, just being able to work with the municipalities in close relationship is a really big thing for us as well.
And I'll close it by my one thing is for the legislators to just listen and talk to your small businesses in your area. Once you really listen, you will understand why there is an urgency for support now. We have been recovering as a state pretty strongly, as Secretary Pryor will mention those Moody numbers. But if we don't support our small businesses now, we're going to lose all that gains that we've had and just fall back into last place and just let more small business fail while they just hold on to these funds. So the governor's proposal was well thought out, working with the Lieutenant Governor's Office, Commerce, and many small businesses. That's very focused on the hard-hit industries, on public health support, and given that financial and technical assistance to those small businesses that truly need it now so that way they can survive through the winter and we're not having more small businesses fail while we fail to act.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for stating that. We really put the plan out, and the governor has also put the supplemental budget asking for a down payment on the federal funding to make sure that we get money out as soon as possible, because there's small business that cannot wait. The sooner we get those funds out, the better, to make sure that the small businesses are able to survive. So thank you for everything that you're doing to make sure that message is getting to all of our elected officials at all levels. Truly appreciate that.
Thank you for always being with us small businesses and listening to us. We appreciate you, Lieutenant Governor.
My pleasure. So we're coming to the end. I just want to check with our guests and with you, Chris. Is there anything that you really wanted to say that we didn't get to? Just want to make sure we get it. I'll give you that opportunity.
I can jump in.
Yes.
If we can, we want to figure out a way to have our elected officials support the small businesses. And, we see it on the news. We see our elected officials visiting areas, visiting small businesses. If we could spread that, if we can have our elected officials go to the Boulder Dashes, see the travel agent, see boarding a plane, support a small dance studio that's having a performance. Let's get some pictures of that on the news, on the local media, and show that we all provide safe entertainment, safe travel, safe activities. And, I think that would boost consumer confidence. And that really seems to be the most important thing that we're missing right now.
Thank you.
I would agree with that 100%.
Thank you.
Diane?
I also agree. Thanks, Hugo.
Great.
Thank you.
But thank you so much, Hugo. So make sure you send us that invitation, okay? Let us know anything that is happening. With my office, we're always visiting a small business, so send us that information. We would love to come down to your businesses also and visit and see you in action. So please let us know.
I look forward to it. Thank you. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your participation. Thank you for being part of this conversation and our small business town hall conversation. We learn a lot from the different directors that were here that participated, and we heard of the first hands from the small businesses that are going through many challenges. Thank you for all of you that turn in, and remember to come back and join us for the next Tuesday. Chris Parisi is going to be here, making sure that we continue the conversation weekly. And in 2 Tuesdays from now, I'll be back with this conversation and with all the directors. In the meantime, enjoy your day, enjoy the week, and see you soon.